What's up, YouTube? Last night was the second ever AEW Double or Nothing. And you already know what kind of video this is. We're gonna look at Reddit, we're gonna talk about it, we're gonna see what Reddit had to say, I'm gonna tell you what I thought of the show, and in the comments let me know what you thought about the show as well. But we are on the Squared Circle Reddit page, so let's see what they had to say about Double or Nothing. Brody Lee and Jon Moxley took the house down. The end sequence was phenomenal. Brody Lee coming out all bloody looked like a vintage bruiser Brody, and that chokehold Moxley put on him was the real deal. I have zero hopes for this world title match, not gonna lie. Like, both these guys are really good in the ring, but for some reason I feel like they just weren't going to click right when it comes to such a big stage like a world title match for AEW. But like every other match on this card that I kind of thought was gonna be a little bit of a dud, they were all like really good. I was thoroughly surprised. That world title match, in my opinion, could have gone like another like 5-ish minutes, because I felt like he hit him with the paradigm shift twice and then Brody just kicked out. So then he put him in the chokehold and it was kind of just over after that. I felt like we had a couple solid more minutes of wrestling, but like I still enjoyed it. I thought it was still pretty cool. Like, it went from being like a world title match that I thought I would probably never go back to watch again, but honestly, after seeing it, I wouldn't mind watching it 2 or 3 times, honestly. Fade to Black Sunset, that was super fun. Every match was different and at the very least, very good. And the Stadium Stampede match was just amazing in every way, so enjoyable. We also went into more detail talking about Shida and also MJF. I'm not gonna lie, MJF was the MVP of that night in my opinion. Like, his match with Jungle Boy, I completely read off as just boring and irrelevant. But it was probably the best wrestling match on that show. I didn't know MJF was that good of a wrestler. Like, I knew he was good. I've seen him wrestle before. I thought he was alright. But like that was good. That was good. Ortiz not being able to swim, then Hardy's transformation had me rolling. Best thing on the show. I think like the best thing was like when like Matt rang the bell and then Ortiz was just like shaking from like the rattling in his head. I thought that was hilarious because like Ortiz is the most like memed wrestler in AEW besides like Guevara, because he's always getting hit by something. Because the dude's facial reaction to like every single thing that happens on the show is always like top notch. Like, the dude knows how to like get his face out there because people will screenshot that and they will use it on their everyday timeline. So, you're a smart man. Will Jake get a stable of guys to manage, maybe someone else to challenge Cody? I don't think Jake really needs anyone else. Like, I feel like Lance Archer is enough for him. Personally, I would like to see a little less managers in AEW because like there's so many of them. I mean, like, there's Brandy, I think she's kind of a manager. And then you have Jake, and then Arn, and then Tully, and now Taz. Like, there's 5 managers on one show. Like, it's one thing when it's SmackDown or Raw because they have 2 different brands. But like, there's 5 managers on one show. Just one. I mean, yeah, there's Dark, but one show. But who should challenge Cody next for that ugly TNT title? That belt's so ugly! It's so ugly! Why can't wrestling companies make good red championships? Every red title I've ever seen in wrestling looks like some cheeks. They all suck, bro. I have not seen one good red championship ever. That new Impact World title has some red on it. It looks better blue. The Universal title, it looks better blue. The TNT title, why is it red? I mean, like, the color isn't the issue. It's more like the plates that look like butt. But like, the theme colors of the show is like gold and black. And then like the little like explosion confetti stuff. I know they're gonna switch the plates to being gold eventually, but like even when it's gold, it's still gonna look dumb. Like, the main plate looks like they just didn't give a crap. Like, the side plates, if you look at them, like you zoom in, they look alright. But that main plate is literally just an empty space, a TNT logo, and then it just says champion. That's so ugly, man. Like, I love AEW, bro, but like, come on, man. That's ugly. But who should challenge Cody next? Darby. Duh. It has to be Darby, right? Like, I mean, Darby's probably the best mid-card guy in AEW, because like, he could be a world champion one day, but he's not there yet. Cody and Darby, they already got the history. You might as well run it back, because last year at Fyter Fest, it was Cody versus Darby. Do it again, but this time it's for the TNT Championship. Sounds interesting, doesn't it? Jungle Boy versus MJF and Shida versus Rose are the best matches of the event. Mox versus Lee was a banger too. You know, I think Shida winning the title was a good like symbol of like everything that's happened this week, but like, I don't really think I really liked it, to be honest. Like, because of circumstances, I see why Shida won it, but like, I felt like Nyla had such longevity with that title reign. Like, I feel like it should have lasted at least until All Out, and then she should have lost. But like, I don't know how to feel about it. Like, I'm happy for Shida because of symbolism, but also I'm sad for Nyla because I feel like it should have lasted longer, and I felt like it should have been someone else to win it. This is who I actually want to be the next AEW champion, right? Or women's champion. Big Swole. right? Hear me out. She made herself a highlight on that show, and she was sitting in the crowd. She did an amazing job. She made herself involved in every match. She's not bad in ring, she's pretty good, and also she's just entertaining to watch. She's just hilarious. With some time and getting her over with the crowd more, she easily could have been the person to beat Nyla. I mean, she's called Big Swole, so she could have like legit bodied her, and yeah, to me, I feel like Big Swole was the move to be the next AEW World Women's Champion, but I mean, I'm not mad she didn't want it. I mean, good for her. I'm just thinking it should have been Big Swole. That's it. But it definitely wasn't the best match on the show. Like, it was good. It was all right, but it wasn't the best. I've seen better AEW women's matches, in my opinion. I didn't really like it too much. It was all right to me. Cody and Archer had a story-driven match with a classic face versus heel. Also facts, the saddest part was when they panned to Mike Tyson when he was in the middle of yawning. I get it, you know, he's an older guy. He's been putting his body online for decades. I ain't the camera guy, but like the person in the truck that's like editing the show or whatever, or producing it. Whoever panned it over to Mike Tyson during that moment, he's literally holding the championship with the network logo next to an AEW logo while yawning. You can't hide the fact that he's on your show. I mean, like the match itself, Cody and Archer was great. I want to see Mike Tyson versus Lance Archer now. Like, I feel like if I don't get that, I'm gonna be a little disappointed because I feel like they're low-key trying to get Mike Tyson in a match. And if they don't, I'm gonna be a tad disappointed because they built it pretty well for a Lance Archer Mike Tyson match. And I know that won't happen, but like they're making me want to see that more. And I know that won't happen, so I feel like I'm gonna be low-key disappointed, but we talked about Nyla versus Shida, Mox and Brody, we talked about that. Then the Stadium Stampede was obviously the greatest thing ever. In that match, I mean, the amount of spots that were there also with like Aubrey and Jericho going at it, Hangman going to the bar, then Hager going into the bar with them, and they have their little like Chuck Norris type of brawl. A throwback to Omega and Hardy almost hitting Sammy with the golf cart again. Man, poor Sammy. The final spot with the One-Wing Angel was, whoa. Again, poor Sammy. There's so much of that match I could talk about in this one video, but I don't want to take like 30 minutes of your day. The middle of the card was super slow to me. The Stampede match was amazing. Okay, so I'm guessing that he's talking about like the Spears and Dustin part, and then like Statlander and Penelope Ford. The Penelope match, I didn't really like it. I know it's supposed to be Britt, but she got hurt, unfortunately, and I hope she gets better soon, but it doesn't look like it's gonna be soon, which is really unfortunate because she's doing such a good job. Penelope's a really good like valet and manager, and like her wrestling ability is there. It's just like a little slower than like the pace of like a Statlander. So I just feel like that's just something that's just gonna get better over time. So I mean, you know, it is what it is. But Dustin versus Spears, it was unnecessary and kind of boring and a little dumb. But like I love both of them so much that like I'll accept it. Minus the part where Tully was kind of on Spears' you know. There's a little more criticism by this one guy. His name's Sower Plave. I think that's how you pronounce it. And he gave the show a 3.5 out of 5. Now, I would probably give it a solid 4.2. I know that's not really how that works, but I'm gonna give it 4.2. And I'm mainly gonna go over what he didn't like because like we've kind of talked about all the good stuff, you know? So he said what he didn't like was they had Mike Tyson there, who's being hyped for an in-ring return and not having him knock out a mother trucker out. Kind of want to see him turn heel, knock out Arn. Because if you knocked out Cody or Lance, that would just like kill off some of the stars. But if you hit one of the managers, I mean, who cares, you know? Like if it's Roberts, I feel like people will be a little more sympathetic towards Roberts. But like if it's Arn, I feel like no one would care too much. So I feel like he could have knocked out Arn and would have been dope. Archer could have gone for the blackout on Tyson, but Cody cuts him off his knees, and then Tyson F's him up. I don't think the appearance did anything in particular for anyone. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're not really wrong. I mean, I think the spectacle of Mike Tyson being there, who had a banger theme song, bro. That theme song, smack! Did he really need to be there? No, but he made that match a lot more interesting because you were like hoping he was gonna hit someone. He didn't, unfortunately. Or maybe he should have hit Jake, and maybe that would set up the whole Lance versus Tyson thing, because I feel like if they don't give us that match eventually, I'm gonna be a tad disappointed. And I know they won't, because I don't think Tyson's really gonna wrestle when he's in the middle of training for a boxing match, but or make his boxing comeback. Y'all kind of built it on accident, so I'm gonna need to see it, because like y'all accidentally built a dream match, and I have to see it now. I just have to. In the comments down below, do you think Double or Nothing 2020 was better than Double or Nothing 2019? Because there's a good argument to why it probably might have been better. But make sure to like, comment, share, and always subscribe, and we outie.
We going up like 1,000. I'ma flex just like a MuscleManMalcolm. We going up like 1,000. I'ma flex just like a MuscleManMalcolm. When it just like 1, 2, 3. If you like the channel, then subscribe. If you like the channel, then subscribe. If you like the channel, then subscribe.